There are rules to survive a horror movie, but most people die because they ignore them. Rule number 1, never walk into darkness saying hello. The killer isn't going to answer you. If someone tells you a house is haunted, leave immediately. If your friend gets bitten and says, maybe I won't turn, don't wait. They already lost. Upstairs is death. Basement is worse. Phones never work. And the car never starts when you need it. Because in horror stories, survival belongs only to those who follow the rules.
The group remembered another rule: never split up. But fear makes people stupid. A loud crash echoed from upstairs. Maybe it's nothing, one of them whispered. That was mistake number 1. One friend slowly walked toward the stairs while the others stayed behind. The lights flickered. Every step creaked loudly under his feet. Halfway up, the house went completely silent. Then, footsteps behind him. He turned around, nothing there. When he looked forward again, a tall, dark figure stood at the end of the hallway holding something sharp in its hand. He tried to run, but remembered too late. Running upstairs is always a bad idea. A scream filled the house, and suddenly stopped. Downstairs, the others understood the truth. They had already broken the rules, and now the killer was awake. The scream stopped, but the silence became worse. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Then one of them said the worst possible words. "Hello? Is anyone there?" The others froze. Everyone knew the rule. Never call out in a horror situation. From the darkness upstairs came a reply. Not words, just slow, heavy breathing. Step, step, step. Something was coming down the stairs. The lights went out again. A phone flashlight turned on, shaking in someone's hand. The beam pointed toward the staircase. Empty. Relief lasted only 1 second. Because behind them, a shadow moved across the wall. The killer wasn't upstairs anymore. He was already inside the room. Panic exploded in the room. Someone shouted, "Run!" And instantly, they broke another rule. They split up. 2 ran toward the kitchen. 1 rushed upstairs. 1 hid behind the couch, thinking the darkness would protect them. Bad choice. A loud metallic sound echoed. Clang! Something heavy dragged across the floor. The kitchen door slowly creaked open by itself. Inside, cabinet doors were already open, knives missing. Then came the sound every horror victim hears too late. Footsteps, right behind them. A hand suddenly grabbed one shoulder from the darkness. The flashlight dropped, spinning across the floor. And in that brief rolling light, a man holding an axe was revealed. He wasn't chasing anymore. He was waiting. The flashlight stopped moving. Darkness swallowed the room again. Only breathing could be heard. Fast, terrified, desperate breathing. Someone whispered, "Maybe it's gone." Wrong. A sudden scream tore through the house. Upstairs, one of them remembered another rule too late. Never run upstairs when being chased. Heavy footsteps climbed slowly behind her. Not running, not rushing, just walking, like the killer already knew. There was nowhere left to escape. She reached the final door at the end of the hallway. Locked. Behind her, tap, tap, tap. The axe dragged across the wall. Then silence. When she turned around, the killer was already standing there. Blood dripped slowly onto the wooden floor. Everyone froze. Someone remembered another rule. Dripping sounds are never water. It's blood. The lights suddenly turned on by themselves. For 1 second, everything looked normal. Then they saw it. Footprints, wet, dark, leading from the ceiling, down the wall, and stopping right behind them. Nobody wanted to turn around, because everyone knew the most important rule: whatever is behind you doesn't want to be seen. A cold breath touched someone's ear, and a voice whispered, "You finally learned the rules." One of them couldn't handle it anymore. He slowly turned around. Big mistake, because another rule says, never look directly at the killer. The thing standing there wasn't human. Its face kept changing. Friend, stranger, family, then nothing. Just darkness. The lights exploded. Now the room was completely black. Someone started running. Another terrible rule was broken. Never run alone in a horror situation. Footsteps echoed behind him. Slow, calm, enjoying the chase. Then suddenly, silence. Only one sound remained. Something smiling in the dark. Breathing became louder. Not his breathing. Something else was breathing with him. Another rule suddenly made sense. If you hear breathing behind you, don't stop moving. But he stopped. A cold hand touched his shoulder. Slowly, gently, like it already owned him. He tried to scream. No sound came out. Because in horror, the moment you realize the truth, it's already too late. The emergency lights flickered on for 1 second, and everyone saw it. The killer wasn't chasing them anymore. It was standing among them, waiting, choosing who breaks the next rule. Someone whispered, "Count how many of you are left." They did. 1, 2, 3. Then silence, because the number kept changing. Every time they counted, there was one extra person standing with them. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Another rule appeared in his mind. If your group suddenly has one more person, don't ask who it is. The lights went out again. When they came back, one friend was gone, and the extra person was smiling. The smiling figure stepped closer. No footsteps, no sound, but everyone felt it moving. One of them finally whispered, "Who are you?" Instantly, every light exploded. Glass rained from the ceiling. A new rule burned into his thoughts. Never speak to the one that doesn't belong. Too late. The boy who asked the question began shaking. His shadow twisted, stretched, then separated from his body, and stood up on its own. Now, there were 2 of him, and both were looking hungry. The duplicate smiled wider than any human could. Its jaw stretched, cracking slowly. The real boy screamed, but no sound came out. Everyone backed away as the shadow copy stepped forward. Then it spoke, using his voice. "Only one of us leaves." The lights returned for a second, and the real boy was gone. Standing in his place was the thing pretending to be him. A new rule appeared on the wall in dripping black letters. If someone changes, don't let them stay. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed, because everyone understood the truth. The thing standing in front of them was not human anymore. It blinked slowly, learning how to act normal. Then it laughed. "Too late. Too empty," Sarah whispered. "That's not him." Suddenly, the classroom door slammed shut by itself. Another rule burned onto the wall. "They learn by watching you."